Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Apex Legends. And Apex Legends was a battle royale that I really enjoyed when it first came out in February of 2019. I played it for a good chunk of time because back then I was super into the battle royale craze, but after the first month or so I fell off completely and never played it again. However, with the release of Season 7, the game just came out in Steam, and I thought it would be really fun to play the game for a ton of time and make an updated review for the game and answer whether I thought the game was still worth playing in 2020. And I have to say, the game is still pretty freaking fun to play. A lot of the games tried to do the hero shooter battle royale, and I think Apex Legends takes the cake. All the different characters feel very unique from each other with their passives and abilities, but it doesn't overtake the main aspect of the game, and that is the core gunplay. I think the game has some of the best gunplay in any battle royale I have played. The time to kill is near perfect for me. You don't instantly die to a single bullet across the map like games like PUBG, but you aren't a massive bullet sponge like in some games. And I think it has a really good mix that makes it feel so satisfying when you do shred down someone that has a ton of armor, so it takes a little bit longer, and actually finish them off. And all the abilities and passives that all the characters have complement the gunplay to me instead of overtaking every aspect of the game like some games do. And since the launch of the game, there have been a ton of new characters with cool new kits. And the game is a free-to-play game, so part of the payment model is that you have to purchase or slowly grind out the new operators. There is a $40 pack though that unlocks all the current characters and gets you a bunch of cosmetics and currency, so I ended up doing that just so I could actually try out a lot of the new characters that have, come out since I first started playing, and I was not disappointed. And with this, I do think it's important to mention that this is not a solo game. As far as I could see, there is not a way to just play solos. If you want to, you have to do things like fight other squads by yourself pretty much. So you can play in either a team of 3 or duos, and so there is a little bit of kind of, team comp and, synergy aspect to the game, but overall the gunplay is still king, so if you're good at that, it doesn't really matter who you're picking as much as some other games. Though playing with randoms, is not as bad as you would think because of how great this pinging system is. And to this day, I still don't think I have played a game that has as good of a pinging system as Apex. You can ping anything, and even if you don't specify what you're trying to say, the game will still know. So if you ping some armor, it'll highlight it for your teammates and your character will actually say something about it. And same thing if it is an enemy or an area, just in general. So even if you aren't communicating with your random teammates, you won't have too much of a problem working as a team just because of how great the system is. And it also is amazing even if you're like on a Discord call or something with some people, because you can just be like, oh, there's someone over here, and then just ping and your character will immediately call out where it is, and it shows on the, teammates, map and stuff like that, and, just their screen. And so beyond the gunplay and all the characters, another huge part about the game I want to talk about is the pacing. And some battle royales are so slow to me, and they have way too much downtime. And I will say this is one of the slight complaints I have with the game. Overall the game is a lot faster paced than some of the slower battle royales, but there are a lot of the times where you are just running for long periods of time to get to the next part of the circle. The inventory system in itself I really like because it streamlines this process. Instead of having to loot all these items and weapons and equipment you find and then having to equip them and switch attachment on the guns and, switch ammo types and all of these things, the game kind of does this automatically for you to an extent. So say you pick up a better tier scope or something, you can choose to immediately just replace your current scope with the new one. And this goes for armor and weapons and, pretty much everything in the game. So the looting and equipment process is overall super streamlined, and I love that because that was one of my least favorite parts in a battle royale. But even though the looting is streamlined, because you have such a large map, you're going to have longer games. You can drop in more crowded areas, which will definitely get you more fights, but if you do well, you still have to make your way to the next circle and find more opponents. And I can't hold it too much against the game because it is the norm for battle royales, but I think I just got spoiled by playing a lot of faster paced battle royales like the Darwin Project, which unfortunately is now a dead game, but and I do think some of the movement abilities that some of the characters have do help that to an extent, but overall you still are going to have some of that downtime still. I can't speak too much on previous maps because at the beginning of the season they only let you play the newest map to get you kind of used to it, but the new map is a ton of fun. It has a lot of color and it's this futuristic city, which is really cool, and after this kind of, period of learning the new map, it'll actually kind of rotate between all the maps, so it just adds a ton of variety to the game, which is awesome. And the progression in the game is obviously trying to get more of the champions if you don't have them, but you also have tons of cosmetics between weapon skins and charms and cosmetics for your characters. There's also a battle pass like every other modern game, and I know that there was a huge controversy about it being too hard to progress, and apparently they made it a lot better, but I have to say, between the 4 to 5 hours I played the game since it came out on Steam, I only leveled up the battle pass a single time, which seems way too slow to me. And to be fair, the game is a free-to-play game, so it's understandable this stuff being so grindy, but it does hinder my experience a bit, and makes me just want to ignore all of the challenges and battle pass, in itself, and just play the game. And, it's good that the core gameplay, and especially the gunplay to me, is so high quality because it does make it worth it. So if you're looking for a new Battle Royale, or in this case, an older one to pick back up, I definitely think that Apex Legends is still a great game, even in 2020. And if they keep adding new characters and maps, I could see this game continuing to flourish for a long time. And if you have played Apex Legends in the past or currently play it, I would love to know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. And I'm especially interested if you are someone that has been playing consistently since the game came out. And if you've enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. I make several Let's Plays and reviews a week on a wide variety of games, but FPS games and roguelites are my biggest focuses, so if you enjoy these types of games as much as I do, then consider subscribing and ringing that bell like all the big boy YouTubers say. And if you're going to be grinding out some Apex Legends for some W's or to try and complete the Battle Pass, I wish you luck, and see you guys next time.